Shalom Family, much love, honor, and respect to the Whole House of Yasharell. Hear now these words of wisdom from your humble brother, that is. I'll now be making a video on behalf of the Torah in the book of Genesis. I'll now be starting from Genesis 2 and 7. And the Most High formed the man of the dust of the ground, and breathed into his nostrils the breath of life, and the man became a living soul. And the Most High planted a garden eastward in Eden, and there he put the man whom he had formed. And out of the ground made the Most High to grow every tree that is pleasant to the sight and good for food, the tree of life also in the midst of the garden, and the tree of knowledge of good and evil. And a river went out of Eden to water the garden, and from thence it was parted and became 4 heads. The name of the first is Pishon, that is it which compasses the whole land of Chavilah, and where there is gold, and the gold of that land is good. There is Bdellium and the onyx stone, and the name of the second river is Gihon. The same is it that compasses the whole land of Cush. And the name of the third river is Chedequel. That is it which goes toward the east of Ashur. And the fourth river is Perath. And the Most High took the man and put him into the Garden of Eden to dress it and guard it. And the Most High commanded the man, saying, of every tree of the garden you may freely eat, but of the tree of knowledge of good and evil you shall not eat of it, for in that day you eat thereof, you shall surely die. Now this is the first commandment that the Most High has given man. Even better, the first man whom he formed from the dust of the ground, breathed into his nostrils the breath of life, and the man became a living soul. This is love. The first man was formed, and he was put into a bountiful garden. And this garden is precious minerals and so many rivers, 4 rivers. But in the midst of all this bounty he is given, he's given a commandment. Now, we being further along the lines are still giving commandments today. We have to consider those too. But this is the first one, and this is key, that these commandments aren't given to the Most High because he hates us or he has scorn for us or he's testing us. It's to keep us safe and to keep us living longer. When we break those commandments, we get closer to death. And being close to death means you will die eventually, if not outright. So I'll continue. And the Most High said, it is not good that the man should be alone. I will make a helpmeet for him. And out of the ground the Most High formed every beast of the field, and every fowl of the air, and brought them unto the man to see what he would call them. And whatsoever the man called every living creature, that was the name thereof. And the man gave names to all cattle, and to the fowl of the air, and to every beast of the field. But for the man there was not found a helpmeet for him. Now this passage right here, the man Adam giving names to all the cattle and all the fowl of the air and all the beasts of the field, and him not finding a helpmeet, him not finding a wife, to this very day, we're given a commandment, and we can't no intercourse with creatures, no cows, no sheep, no dogs, no cats, not even the nations. We can't go into other nations that aren't of our own. So let that sink in. And the Most High caused a deep sleep to fall upon the man, and he slept. And he took one of his ribs and closed up the flesh instead thereof. And the rib which the Most High had taken from the man made he a woman, and brought her unto the man. And the man said, This is now bone of my bones, and flesh of my flesh. She shall be called woman, because she was taken out of man. Therefore shall a man, any man amongst our own people, therefore shall a man leave his father and his mother, and shall cleave unto his woman, and they shall be one flesh. And they were both naked, and the man and his woman were not ashamed. That part is important, because to this day, we have to do that. If a man were to take a woman as his wife, going unto her, that's his wife, not getting on one knee and prostrating himself beneath her, and she standing above him, is she gonna say yes? Is she gonna say no? Nah, ain't none of that. And right, they have to leave the father and the mother, so that they can show the Most High they're good. That union, that strength, that has to be demonstrated. If you're still clinging to your parents after you done got with her, that will mean your union isn't strong. It's weak. Therefore, as it is written out of the book of Genesis 2:24, therefore shall a man leave his father and his mother, and shall cleave unto his woman, and they shall be one flesh, one nation, one couple, right? One. And they were both naked, the man and his woman, and were not ashamed. Very important. Very important. Now the serpent was more subtle than any beast of the field which the Most High had made. And he said unto the woman, Yes, the Most High said, You shall not eat of every tree of the garden. And the woman said unto the serpent, We may eat of the fruit of the trees of the garden, but of the fruit of the tree which is in the midst of the garden, the Most High has said, You shall not eat of it, neither shall ye touch it, lest you die. And the serpent said unto the woman, Ye shall not surely die, for the Most High knows that in the day you eat thereof, then your eyes shall be opened, and you shall be as God, or as the Most High, knowing good and evil. And when the woman saw that the tree was good for food, and that it was pleasant to the eyes, and a tree to be desired to make one wise, she took of the fruit thereof, and did eat, and gave also unto her man with her, and he did eat. These nations play the same trick on us today. Now, then, in regards to the first man and the first woman, technically the first union, the first couple, in innocence, and they were being naked and not even being ashamed, the serpent comes along and tempts the woman, not the man, because the man was given the commandments first. The man has to enforce those commandments and keep those commandments and teach even the younger generations those commandments. So this serpent is going to come to the woman, and the woman knew. Once again, reading from Genesis 3 and 6. No, 3 and 5. For the Most High knows. Let me go back to. No, 3 and 2, my mistake. And the woman said unto the serpent, we may eat of the fruit of the trees of the garden, but of the fruit of the tree which is in the midst of the garden, the Most High said, you shall not eat of it, neither shall you touch it, lest you die. So she knew as well, but her seeing that the fruit, her being tempted by the serpent, and seeing that the fruit was right, seeing that it was right, and seeing that if she ate that fruit and gave it to her man, they would both be wise. We face these same temptations today. These nations bring us things like, well, today, vaccines, and they bring it to the woman. The woman sees, oh, it's right, it's good, takes the vaccine, and then now is looking to everyone else like, what are y'all gonna do? But you see, that is not her place. Her place is to obey the man, the head of the household. She is a woman. She was made for man, from man. In this order, the structure, we have to obey and we have to consider. So these are the two things I would want my audience, the family, to consider. Consider how these commandments start at the beginning, and consider the temptations we face today. That is all. Those are my words for today on the behalf of the Torah out of the book of Genesis. I hope you appreciated the lesson. If you have any questions or concerns, or if my lesson wasn't too good, please let me know in the comments. Much peace and love to the Whole House of Yasharell. Much thanks to the elder brothers, sisters, daughters, fathers out there, keeping it strong in the truth. All praise to the Most High and the Most High alone. Shalom.